I'm just messing with you. I'm unmuted. How's it going, everybody? Hello, hello, hello. Good evening. Welcome to Mondays with Max. Appreciate you guys all showing up. And without further ado, I did get you. Good. I'm glad I got somebody. Crypto Dave, thanks for the reminder. I do appreciate it. All right, let me do a quick intro and then I'll be back. Oh, wrong thing. Sorry about that, guys. All righty. Well, oh, intro was muted. Oh, that's right, because I have desktop audio muted. So appreciate you letting me know that. But yeah, I meant to unmute those, but I did not. So let's do a quick roll call. So Kyle Rogers was first. Appreciate you being here. Travelers Travels, Triple D Innovations Mining, Hot Crypto. Appreciate you being here. Crypto Dave, who was fifth, but you know, first in my heart. He's my dancing partner for PUBG, you know. So anyway, thanks for being here. Veteran Miner, Boinker139. Glad you are looking forward to this. John Germain, thank you for being here. Triple D Innovations Mining, thank you for being here. Thanks for being active in the chat. Appreciate it. Mike the Miner, MC, and Fudweiser, thank you very much for becoming the newest member of OnlyFlans. Appreciate that very much. Let's see. Big Wooly. I think he's fighting with Mining King to see who can be the nicest troll. He's my hero. Of course, he just wanted me to read it. So I just, yeah, that's what he really wanted. That's why he wrote it. Anyway, K-Spec, thank you for being here. I appreciate it. S. Chang, thank you for being a regular. Really appreciate you being here. Automatic Beads, appreciate you being here. Let's see, Integra Guy, thank you again for being a member. Tim I Am Crypto, good evening. Unboxing Project, Appreciate you being here, and I'm glad I got you with that mouthing of the words. Sunflower Mama, thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Let's see. Crypto Tito, appreciate you being here. Crypto Bedell. Let's see who else. Sub Chaps, Magic Lucky, TPS Miner, thank you for being here and all the help you've given me this past week. Some suggestions on things for the future. Appreciate that. Crypto Shape, thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Let's see who else. DJ Mines, thank you for being here. Oh, isn't it past your bedtime? I thought it was too late for 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock your time. I'm just messing. Appreciate you being here. It was fun playing StarCraft with you last night. Gobbles the 13th Goblin. No audio. Yeah, it was no audio because it was a joke. Have audio now, I'm sure. Crypto Tito, maybe. Let's see. Shirt change, yes. It's kind of cool. It's like 60. So yeah, it was definitely flannel weather today, no question. I almost pulled off a teaspoon. I did not pull off a teaspoon because I did that on purpose. So there you go. Hobbyist Miner, thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Hey, it's all on the mic. That's all it is. Let's see here. Canadian Miner. Let's see who else. New England Crypto, appreciate you being here. Oh, whenever you scroll down, it jumps and flannel gets you going. Glad to hear it. Although that is kind of creepy. But anyway, yes, Crypto Tito, you did call the change first. You did. I didn't actually see anybody else. Oh, there were a ton of people. So actually the giveaway today, which, hey, if you're building your computer, and we can talk, but here's what your giveaway is. Because I said, whenever that thing changes, there's going to be a giveaway. And today it was a 550 watt gold power supply from EVGA. So you are the proud owner of this, Crypto Tito. So DM me your address and if you want it. So anyway, congratulations. And I'll of course send along some stickers and such. Some other small little goodies. All right, let's see. I think I pretty much hit everybody. If I didn't hit you, I apologize. Some Heinz, just to kind of do a MH, just doing a quick scan. Tains, thank you for being here. I appreciate it. I think I pretty much hit everybody. So, all right. Oh, ABMNS production. I missed you somehow. Nothing better than Max Voltage's face in the early Monday, Tuesday morning. Hello, beautiful people. Well, I appreciate that. I know D Miners always talks about my red rosy cheeks, but that's just getting kind of creepy, man. Just getting kind of creepy. Your blue flannel was just fine. I appreciate you being there with me in spirit, Fudweiser. Alrighty. Well, let's get to the topics at hand. There's a couple things I didn't put in the description, but I'm going to be going over. Anybody who's been here the last two streams, I've been having some issues. I made some changes, lowered the outbound like max upload within OBS, changed it from 10,000 to 5,000. So I'm hoping that will help. I also have been monitoring my nodes, my Flux nodes, to see like how much data they're using. And they're using a decent amount, but not a ton. So I'm going to be monitoring that as well as my overall bandwidth on the upload side. So without further ado, let me switch over to that shot. So if you can see up at the top, you can see that you have the two nodes. So right now, the one node is transmitting out at 5.67 megabits per second. And the other one's at 3.37, 3.84. And obviously they vary quite a bit, but it's probably like really hard for you guys to see, but data is there. So I want to be able to keep an eye on my stream condition and look at this as well. The other thing, I did reboot my computer beforehand, even though it still went into that crazy mode, but the second time I rebooted, it was fine. So I did that and then also in the upper right, I have from my router, what my upload speed in megabytes per second. So basically you got to multiply this by 8 in order to get what the total outbound is. So, you know, this is at around just below 2, but if it was at 2, that's basically 16 megabits per second. Well, my outbound is going to be at least 35, up to 35 megabits per second. So I'm still well within the range. So should be doing good. But wow, the markets took a turn for the worse today. They were doing well. BTC was above 30,000. ETH was above 2,000, heading towards 2,100. Everything looked good. I haven't really kept track of the news of the market today, but wow, that sucks. Well, depends on how you look at it. Let's get to the bottom quickly, and then we can start hopefully heading back up again, and get into some buying opportunities as we head lower. I know I had bought some at 26, sold at like 29 or 30, and so if it goes back down, so I trade in ranges, bits and pieces of what I own. So at any rate, that yeah, that we don't like to look at the red, so we'll get right off of that, and let's talk about some merge news. And let me switch back to so this week was kind of interesting, as there was a bunch of merge news this past week. First thing being that BBT had put a tweet out there basically asking the devs, saying, hey, are you planning on doing any testing with any of the DeFi projects, OpenSea, Uniswap, whatever? And their response was kind of like, well, why would we do that? Like, because they're like your lifeblood of what you do, and if what you're doing breaks what they're doing, that would be really bad for the entire ecosystem and be really bad for the value of Ethereum, which we all care about. And they basically just labeled it as FUD. It wasn't FUD at all. It was a very good question. I stated on Saturday night, I used to be product manager for a network management product. And yes, developers love to say, oh no, we have an API in between, and this won't talk to that. This will talk to that, but it can't affect it because there's this interface in between, and you can't ruin the interface. Well, you can't ruin the interface unless you try to send a command to the wrong port on an API or whatever. Point being is, I've seen plenty of occasions where developers say, nope, this is separate from this. We can develop this over here in a vacuum and this over here in a vacuum. And as long as we both, code to this interface, we're fine. And when one of them wasn't being changed at all and the other one was, things still broke. It just happens. So, and in this case, if it's not gonna happen, then have somebody write a quick test case, take 2 weeks to test on Ropsten when it actually goes to merge, and make sure it works. I mean, can't take more than 2 weeks, and you can do it in the process of the Ethereum going through all of their tests. They've got 3 test networks to go through, Ropsten, and I forget what the next 2 are, but they've got 3 to go through. What BBT was bringing up was very valid, and I just don't get it. It's another example of the Ethereum devs forgetting who their customer is. Their customer are the users of these apps. And they're also forgetting the fact that, yes, miners aren't happy that they're going to proof of stake. Of course we're not happy about it. But at the same time, miners have invested amounts of Ethereum. So we have a vested interest to make sure that it does go off without a hitch. I mean, if you're going to do this, what could be worse than going to proof of stake, having it be a complete and utter nightmare, and then you're having to fix it on the go? That would be really bad, because not only we can't mine it anymore and make money off of it, we're also losing value in Ethereum because of things not going correctly. So I guess I just don't really see why they labeled it as FUD and totally pushed it to the side. But it's not the first time they've done this to BBT, which is just honestly really annoying, when it could just be a very simple fix. Somebody write test cases. Actually, Uniswap should be writing a test case. OpenSea should be writing a test case. All of the DeFi apps should be writing test cases and going on to these test nets and testing. And maybe this is already in the plan, but the devs should know this, or at least be saying, hey, you know what? I'm not sure, but it's their responsibility, and we are giving them the opportunity to test. We can't control whether they test or not, but we are giving them the opportunity. They didn't say any of this. So I don't know. It just really irks me that somebody, it's not the first time that Ethereum just does not have a good marketing person. They just don't. They are just devs, and I don't say that in a bad way. I just mean that they do need to have somebody who is more of the face of Ethereum, that can think on their feet and think of the big picture. I just don't feel like they have that right now. So anyway, all right, off my rant. Let me see if there's any questions out there regarding my rant. Everybody's talking about the fact that proof of stake, crying, that type of thing. Anyway, yes, I have come to expect it. I had been saying all along, I thought it was going to be August or September. That was what I thought. I had said I thought it'd be September, and originally I was saying August because I had said it was going to be similar to 1559. I'm still in that August-September timeframe, which is what they're basically saying. So that was the other piece of news. One of the devs opened up their mouth at a conference and said, if everything goes correctly, Ethereum will go for a merge in August. Could we go for a merge in August? Yep, definitely could. Definitely could. And it has been going well. So yeah, August or September, I think, is really the time frame. If they run into a little hiccup or they get cold feet, they just delay it by a month just to make doubly sure that everything's good. The other thing I should actually, going back to the DeFi and OpenSea, Uniswap, whatever, having them do their testing, they don't even need to test the merge, the actual transition. They don't need to test that at all. They could shut off 1 minute before the merge, like 4 blocks before the merge. And then right after the merge, they could wait another minute or two, let the network stabilize, and then turn themselves back on. That would be, nobody would care. 3 minutes off the network in order so that they can transition to proof of stake, no problem. Why would anybody care? You don't have to have, those 3 minutes in order to trade, just those 3 minutes. You can do without 3 minutes. And like I said, nobody's going to care. So they could do all this testing after Robston goes to merge. And then once the merge happens, then they can test against it just to make sure everything's working properly. So anyway, a couple other people I noticed joined in. Pearl Rival, Tizen, thank you for both of you for showing up. Canadian Miner and Rabid Mining, thank you for being here. I appreciate it. And Atomic Star, thank you for being here. Okay. All right, so that's enough of Ethereum merge. Let's talk about some more fun things. And this past week, we have definitely had some news with Ethereum mining, although unfortunately I wish we had gotten this a while ago. But Team Red Miner and their R mode, that is pretty cool. I did test both the 5600 XT as well as my 5700 XT rig, and my 5600 XT lost like 25 watts with no loss of hash rate at all. I do have a BIOS mod on my 5600 XT, so the powers look a lot higher. Believe it or not, the powers look a lot higher than most people's do on a 5600 XT because I have an MSI BIOS on a gigabyte card, so it kicked up. But anyway, in the software, it lowered it by about 30 watts, but in actuality, it was closer to around 25. But still, 25 watt difference is pretty amazing for that card. And then for my 5700 XT rig, I played around with that last week a bit. Then I played around with it more on Sunday. So I did it last week because I saw everything coming out, saw that things were stabilizing. So I just basically threw it on there. Didn't do too much with the overclocking and the undervolting, but I did a little bit, got things to stabilize. And at that point I was saving about 10 watts. Then Red Panda came out with his video on Sunday with Crypto Peasant. And for those people that don't know Crypto Peasant, he is the BIOS mod king. He has helped so many people BIOS mod their cards. So about a year and a half ago, he helped me BIOS mod my 5700 XTs just through, he didn't actually do it for me, but just through asking questions. I was doing it in Windows. I was having some trouble doing it in Windows back then. And then when it came time to do the 5600 XT, I'm pretty sure he actually just sent me the BIOS. And then that was the one I actually used on the 5600 XT. So definitely knows what he's doing as far as BIOS modding. So definitely, if you have not checked out that video and you have AMD cards, go check out that video. So anyway, so the first time I did it last week, I saved about 10 watts. Then I watched the video and I saved another 10 watts. So I went from about 110 watts down to 90 watts. So I saved just short of 20% power. So between all of the cards, that's 7 cards, 7 times 20, about 140, 150 watts, somewhere in that range is what I saved. So I felt like that was pretty darn amazing job by the Team Red Miner crew. And then interestingly enough, there were some other things in that video that Red Panda had that I'm currently not actually doing. I did the basic BIOS mod, but then he also went through some additional BIOS modding that you can do on the card that I didn't know about. So anyway, bottom line is if you're looking at using R mode, you're looking at BIOS modding any of these cards, go check out that video. It was extremely helpful. And again, thank you Red Panda and thank you Crypto Peasant. Very, very much appreciate that video. Alrighty. Let's see what else I might have. D miners, Hive down again. Yeah, that Hive has been a bit frustrating. I've actually been catching it at good times, I guess, because I haven't had any issues. But I do know plenty of people that have had problems. So yeah, it's it is definitely let's just say it's motivating the other competitors to see if they can take advantage of Hive having trouble. So at least so I've heard. So anyway, I have thought about trying SMOS, simple mining, but at this point I have not found the time to do it at this point. But I don't know. We'll see. I've also thought about trying Microstat. I've always liked the idea of that one. And the interesting thing about Microstat is you can make it into a profit switching miner. And that was what actually interested me about it way back when I looked at it. So set your limits, things like that of when you'd want to switch, and it can do it. So I haven't looked into it for a long time, but that's my understanding. So that's maybe the one I will try, especially considering that profit switching is going to be kind of the in thing. And the nice thing about using Microstat is you can program how you want to do that profit switching, you know, what your thresholds are and such. So anyway, alrighty, let's see. Yeah. Rapid mining R mode, dump your 5700 XT fast. The price went up a bit. The thought crossed my mind, definitely crossed my mind, but I was kind of like, well, you know what? Here's the thing. If Team Red Miner was able to actually improve the performance of Ethereum on 5700 XTs, maybe they could do the same thing on other algorithms as well. So yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I like my 5700 XDs. Got a soft place in my heart. Excuse me, guys. All of a sudden I got an itchy nose here. So, all right, let me check to see what other comments there are, and then I will go on to the next subject. I was reading what Chum Change says. Why does Hive OS always go down when I need to finish something? Yeah, sorry. I gave him a call and told him you were trying to do something. All right, let's see. All right, let me scroll down a bit here. Alrighty, going back to see Hive is based out of Ukraine, seems an issue, maybe. Yeah, that could be, but I mean, I think the biggest problem is if you are having issues because of a war, maybe they just don't want to make an excuse. I don't know, but then say so. Be upfront, be transparent. People can be understanding if you're going to be transparent about it. Maybe they think it makes them look weak, but I think it makes them look genuine if they're, you know, but unfortunately the history I've seen from Hive OS and Hive On has been, you know, just if you question anything, they don't like it. They don't like being questioned when it comes to how good their service is. So yeah, anyway. But they do have a good product. That's where I'm mining. That's where I think where most people are mining. 4J trying SMOS for the last 2 weeks. How do you like it? Hope it's going well for you. Let's see. Yeah, if you have a comment or question you want me to read, please tag me. Rabid Mining said, okay, Hive OS is dropping profit switching. Just curious if it's gonna be forced to Hive on pools. Well, they don't currently have profit switching. I'm assuming you mean that they're dropping. Oh, I see what you're saying. They're dropping, in other words, they're adding it, you mean? Like as in dropping a feature? Dropping in a feature? Yeah, let me know what you mean by that. I know that was in their poll as to, hey, what do you think's most important? And of course, everybody's going to answer profit switching. So I don't know. New England Crypto finally made it to a PC. Hope all is well. Yes, all is well. Thanks, New England Crypto. I appreciate you being here. All right. You know you're old when you carry a handkerchief. It's a Kleenex, not a handkerchief. But yeah, you're right. You know you're old when you carry a handkerchief. So it's not a handkerchief. Anyway, it's not even a runny nose. It's just an itchy nose. All right, ABMNS production. I think the Team Red Miner devs are keeping a lot of other improvements for themselves. I think the ARM mode was in the making since a while and being centralized in Discord. Interesting. Well, but why would they keep it to themselves instead of, oh, you think that they just have a big mining farm, so they were all, you know, wanted to make sure that they were able to mine more than others? I don't know. It's not that big of an improvement in hash rate. It's more of a big improvement in power draw. And why wouldn't you want to, you know, give that to your, you know, to your customers so that they can mine with lower power? I don't know. Just my 2 cents on that. All right, let me scroll down the bottom. 3 Fox Company, thank you. 3 Fox Co. Appreciate you being here. Hi, Max. Thanks for the stream. I'm getting ready for work. Wow. Yeah, we're just getting home from work and be going to sleep in a few hours, probably after playing some PUBG or StarCraft, whatever. Anyway, alrighty. Well, let's move on to the next subject. And well, we already talked a little bit about it. Flux upload, download, bandwidth requirements versus reality. That's what I have up here. Funny thing is I had like this running for 3 days, but then I was like, you know what? I want to restart my machine before the stream just to make sure that that's not causing any problems. And as soon as I restarted, I was like, oh, I lost all that data. So I do have some of the data. So basically, this has been running for, I don't know, about an hour. And so we'll find out in a second, because I'll hit Control C on this one. And then I'll hit Control C on this one. So this was running for 75 minutes. So the maximum transmit was 11.61 megabits per second. And then this one was 9.9. So if those two things were to happen at the same time, you're taking 20 out of my 35. So it's using quite a bit of my upload by doing that. So typically, though, as you could see, it wasn't usually that high. That was the peaks. Typically it was anywhere from 4 to 6. And in the history of when I was watching this, I was seeing the one run closer to like 7 to 9 consistently. I'm guessing there was probably something going on, that they were using the Node 4. And for those people that don't know, so Flux nodes actually provide a service to the network. So like for a period of time, one of my nodes had a Presearch node on it, and it was providing that functionality of the Presearch node. So there are other nodes that can be deployed on the network, and other services that can be deployed on the network as well. So yeah, all of these nodes are providing these services, and will continue to provide more and more services as more and more people use Flux as a virtual private server for certain functions. So one of the things I have looked into is doing a Presearch node. I've talked about that in the past, but can't really decide what I would want to liquidate in order to do the Presearch node. So still kind of debating on that. Let's see here. Oh yeah, get him to change views. Yeah, where's my producer when she's in the basement? Let me change the view so you guys can see what I'm looking at. There we go. So basically you can see here 11.61 and 9.9 over here. Or can you, I'm thinking you guys might be able to see my pointer, but maybe you can't. So anyway, that's basically what I was talking about there. All right, let's see what else there is in chat. Hello, Cindy. We can't see your mouse. Yeah, I didn't think so. I was looking at OBS and I was not seeing the pointer. I'll have to figure out what's going on there. I thought usually you can. Oh, you can see it, but for some reason when you get into Putty, you can't see it. You can only see it down here. That's interesting. Anyway, alrighty, learn something new every day. So helium rewards are in the drain. I am glad you brought that up, Mining Booms. Let me take a quick look at what mine are. Mine haven't been that bad when you average them out amongst all three of my hotspots. So let me take a quick look, which is right here. So on my one, and this is the one in my house, it is 0.052. So that's not great. But if you look at the 7 days, I'm at 0.759 over 7 days. So obviously the profitability is down because everything's down, but I look at how much helium you're actually getting. So getting greater than 0.1 per day, 0.1 per day is about average. So 0.759, I'm getting 0.1 per day on my one at home. And let's check the one at my in-laws. That one is 0 today. And this one has definitely been in the dumpster. It has done well in the past, but so what I've been finding is if you have a hotspot that is associated with a validator that's having problems, I think that's what's going on. And therefore you're not going to get any rewards. So I've seen this problem on the one I have at my in-laws. So over the last 7 days, it's 0.131. So not great. Now, the one of my sister-in-laws, And I know I'm not showing you this because I don't want to dox anybody. It'll show the location and all that. That one is at 0.107 for the last day. And over the last 7 days, it's 0.556. So again, not doing too bad. So I don't know. I'm not having too big of an issue. I don't think there's really, if you're having problems with it, there's really nothing you can do other than trying to restart your hotspot again, and hope you get associated with a different validator. But yeah, yeah, I don't know what to tell you. There's really nothing you can do. You have to let them fix the network, and it's not fixed, not yet anyway. So hopefully they're getting closer. I would have expected that they would have been done fixing it by now, but yeah. So Big Wool, you're saying you're not making anything now. Yeah, I'm guessing there's just a problem in what you're associated with on the network, which sucks. I would just say keep trying to reboot it and hope. From what I've heard, that it's like 15 to 25% of the time it does fix it. So which tells me that if you try rebooting it 4 times, it might finally, on average, might finally come back to life. So yeah, it's definitely not ideal, but on mine and one of my sister-in-laws, it has been making more than it was before. So I guess I'm just lucky at this point. Mining King, thank you for being here. I appreciate it. You missed my comment to Big Wooly about you guys competing for who's the nicer troll. Because he basically, what did he say? I don't remember. He made some comment that was funny. Anyway. Oh, so Mining King's trading his helium miner. Well, hopefully you're getting a good trade for it. Alrighty, 3 Fox Go. I'm still expanding, but this time my solar need to offset electrical costs. Expanding from 5.56 kilowatts to 11 kilowatts should get my rate down to about 3 or 4 cents. Nice. Yeah. Mine's about that size. I'm at like 5.9. Actually, mine's technically 5.99 kilowatts. So about the same size as your system. And unfortunately, I have no room to expand. The only way that I increase the size of my array is if I were to put panels on less than ideal roof angles, or put things in the backyard, which I really don't want to put things on the ground. So the only other way I could do it is if I have better panels, so more dense energy from the panels, and that's still, they're still going to continue to improve that, but that's at least going to be a few years out. But it was definitely a good day. We got cloudy towards the afternoon, but in the morning I was maxing out my panels, so that was pretty nice. Putting out a consistent 5 kilowatts for a couple hours, so that was definitely nice. I know it probably was close to 40 kilowatt hours today, probably in the upper 30s though, due to the clouding up in the afternoon. All right, let's see what else we got here. Yeah, as I said, Big Wooly, I don't think I can fix your hotspot. It's not about anything having to do with your hotspot. It's just about the network at this point. ABMNS production, your Flux node is telling you that you need to reboot your Raspberry Pi. You probably have some security kernel pending. Yeah, no, I know. What I need to do is reboot it after the next payout. And that's what the plan is. That's usually when I do the updates, is I find out when that is. So that way, if it's off for too long and I get moved back to the end of the line, no big deal. So I know one of the things I did find out, and I played around with this. So Flux actually had a Flux OS had a new software release. And one of my nodes automatically updated, the other one did not. So I would definitely, if you have a node, make sure you're running 3.18. That was the last one that I saw that was from a few days ago, I think. I don't know if they've come out with one since, but I noticed that one of mine was running on 3.16. So anyway, I ended up going in through the FluxOS web GUI and was able to get into the Flux admin and actually hit update from there, and it updated my node. So it was actually pretty cool how easy that was to accomplish. So anyway, but yeah, as long as you're on the latest FluxOS as well as the benchmark, those are really the two key things that you need to stay on top of to make sure that you're running the latest. Let's see, Triple D Innovations Mining. I think I'll stay away from Helium. Yeah, it's probably not the best time to be getting into at this point. I mean, yeah. Muromets, are you running 2 Flux nodes from a single IP? Yes, I am. Actually, they made it pretty darn easy. There's some instructions within their Discord as to how to do that. It's one of the selections on their menu of how to get your thing, how to get it running. There's like a batch command that you run from a web server, and basically that's what how you basically install everything. And one of the selections in there is to set everything up so it can be run so that you can do multiples at a single IP. The key though is your router has to be capable of UPnP, universal plug and play. Not, let's just put it this way. It's common that a ISP provided router will say it's capable of universal plug and play, and it won't work. So let's just say I've had more than one occasion of having a conversation with somebody who said it didn't work, so I had to run DMZ. I, for instance, had my Comcast router and it would not run universal plug and play. The port forwards didn't work. I had to run it in DMZ mode in order for my first node to work at all. I since have gotten a router, got a great deal on a TP-Link router, and it's been working great with UPnP mode. And now that I've got that, I can have the second node. So just be very careful and make sure that whatever you're using, that the UPnP mode is working. All right. Mining King, I never troll Max. Yeah, right. Oh, I guess I could, because nobody wants to look at that menu, that's for sure, or that market. That is for sure. Mining King, Sapphire RX 6600 XT for my gold MNTD Helium Miner. Well, I certainly don't have one of those, so you won't be getting one of those from me. But yeah, anybody want one? Reach out to the Mining King. Oh, you already traded someone else. Oh wow, you already have that trade. Nice. Well, congratulations on that. Got it. That's what you're getting. Yeah, I got that now. Alrighty, let's see what else I had to talk about, and feel free if you have any other questions to ask in the chat. Oh, so as we're talking about nodes, I keep getting asked in DMs and on forums and things like that, hey, where do I get Raspberry Pis from? And honestly, thank you to TPS Miner. He actually provided me a link, well, not necessarily a link, but provided me where to get it from. And AAA Wave actually has Raspberry Pis. Now I do have it in the Discord on my section under, shoot, what is it? Which one is it? Under Only Flans. The one that's the general one. Somebody asked there. Yeah. Skippy the Meh asked the question, and I provided the link to him. So you can find it there. But in the meantime, I think I still didn't change anything. Nope. I copied something else since. So let me recopy that link. And post it in chat. So if anybody's interested, that's where you can get a Raspberry Pi, Raspberry Pi Model 4B, 8 gig. That is what's required for a node. Now, is it super profitable? No, not really. It's profitable if you run it from home, but not a lot. I think it's like $10 a month now because of the decrease in the value. But here's the thing. So you've heard me talk before about, you know, turning off when the merge happens, because it's not going to be profitable. And here's the reason why that Flux is different. So mining is done for validation. It's done for security. As long as there's no like set amount of hash rate that's required for that. It's more about making sure there isn't 51% of the hash rate, or making it easy for somebody to get 51% of the hash rate to take over a network and cause havoc. I don't think that that's going to happen even if you take away, you know, 2/3 of the hash rate. The hash rate, overall hash rate available, has grown. So by turning off the network, you're not decreasing the amount of security. You're not decreasing the amount of validation or any of that by turning off. There's still plenty of people that can do that. Now, the difference with running a Flux node is you are adding capacity to the network. You're adding capacity to run additional services that are available. So in that case, you are actually supporting a project by running a node. And for me, I think Flux is really cool. I love what they're trying to do and what they are already doing. And so running a couple of nodes, I like that. I'm really happy to be part of their ecosystem because I do love their project. So yeah. So things like Firo Masternode would be another example. You know, if you're really interested in that, or Presearch, as I've talked about, you want to do that, run a node. So there's lots of reasons to support a project, and that's one of the reasons why I do like the fact of running a node. So, and Raspberry Pis are kind of a cool little way to actually run a node. Now, you want to be a bigger operator, and you want to run more than one node, and you have the upload speed in order to do it. If you have any type of cable-based internet, DOCSIS internet, odds are you're not going to have the upload to run more than 1 or 2 nodes. And technically, you only have the upload to run 1 node if you upgrade your service. Because right now I'm at like 35 megabits per second. In order to run 1 node, you need 25 megabits per second. So I'm kind of testing the waters of, you know, when they do go to enforce, are they going to enforce, you know, 2 nodes running on like 35 to 40? Actually, it's like 42 is what I usually get. So I'm not quite getting 50. I don't know. We'll see. If so, I've got some other ideas on where I can move that second node to. So I have other options, but definitely wanted to see how that was going to work. I could also take that node and run it on a different network for a different node, and then I wouldn't have that problem with Flux. So anyway, I have some other ideas as far as what I could do. But anyway, just my 2 cents as far as, you know, supporting a project. And so if you are interested in getting a Raspberry Pi, that was the link in order to do it. So, alrighty. So let me see. I know I missed a couple of comments. 3Fox Co. I wanted to do an A2000 mod live, but CCXD beat me to it. Yes, he did. And amazingly enough, it worked without any flux at all. Wow. Is what a lot of people were saying. Kind of need flux in order to do solder usually. But I mean, yeah, I guess you can without it, but it's not usually as good. But anyway, so yeah, definitely kudos for him for making that work. So interestingly enough, New England Crypto, I'm not positive. You need to look that up. So his question was, all Pis for nodes need to be 8 GB? I don't think so. I know that for Flux it does, but I'm not sure about with Firo, Ergo, Pre. I don't know if for any of those. I'm pretty sure with Pre it doesn't need to be, but the other ones I'm not positive. All right. Crypto Bedell, I hate getting work calls this late and during a live stream. Missed half your show by now. Sorry to hear that. Don't don't forget the unraid system approach. Yeah. So yeah, if you want to do really kind of all out and you've got the upload, yeah, buy a cheap computer. A lot of times you can find some of these older Dell, small systems, or heck, just build a computer with multiple cores where you can have tons of VMs on there. Go all out with a 32 core system and then just have 16 VMs on that one machine. Of course, you need a ton of memory, but anyway, there's a lot of different ways you can build it out in a relatively cost-effective manner per node. And obviously in that type of system, it's going to be really kind of, a small form factor because you're just running it for nodes. You don't need to have, a big old case that's going to have super heat cooling or anything like that. Boinker139, do you know how many watts does that little guy take? Oh, little guy take. Oh, if you're talking about the Pi, it takes about 5 watts. I haven't actually plugged it into a watt meter, but that's been what other people have measured it at. So somewhere around 5 watts. Tains, flux nodes are also a backup to the validation. So if there is a 51% attack, then the nodes would automatically take over validation. Cool. I was not aware of that. I know that I do like the fact that flux does rely on both mining and nodes. I think it is definitely a good backup as well. Yeah, Triple D Innovations fiber 940 up and down. Well, good for you. I wish I could get that here. I'm in a major market and I can't get fiber at all. I'm literally doing one right now. Oh, he's doing another mod. Did you get some flux or did you not get some flux? And I'm not talking about the flux that we've been talking about as far as flux nodes. I mean the real flux. I'm guessing he's probably done 6 done so far with no flux. Anyway, have I figured out how to do a Presearch node? I figured out how to do one. What I haven't been able to figure out is how to renew the flux payment. So what I plan on doing is running pre-nodes on Presearch nodes on the flux network themselves. Basically, for one flux, you can run multiple Presearch nodes. There is no cheaper way to run nodes. So that's what I want to do, but I haven't been able to figure that out, and I haven't taken the time to figure that out. So been too busy playing PUBG. It's way more fun. 3 Fox Co. Hey, yeah, what the flux? I have a flux pen that works great. Yeah, flux pen, chum change. Look into it. All righty. I don't see any other tags. No, Mining King's vote for tonight, I guess, is StarCraft. Yeah, I didn't see that comment. And I'm not reading it either because I know that's what he wants. He's so needy, Mr. Wooly. Anyway, all righty. So I actually haven't run a VM program myself. I've helped my daughter set up one, and I'm pretty sure she used VMware. Atomic Star, can you refresh my memory as to what we set up? So I helped her set up something for one of her classes. Anyway, I'm pretty sure that's what we did. Alrighty, let's see what else. Did I have anything else to talk about? I think that was everything. So if there are, if there aren't any other further questions, we'll move on, but I'll start reading some of these things as people are making. VirtualBox. Oh, okay. I knew it. It started with a V, so I was like, I don't remember if it was a VMware, but anyway. TPS Miners says, I'm interested in watching the NVIDIA earnings call on Wednesday. Yeah, that'll be pretty interesting. Because they really need to talk about mining, because it's been a fairly, I shouldn't say a big portion, a significant portion of their earnings. So, isn't Max the Helium tech support. I would be happy to help as far as where should you put it, where should you locate it. In other words, where should you say that it's located? I can definitely help out with those things. But as far as, making the network run the way it's supposed to run, yeah, I can't really help with that, unfortunately. But anyway, if you do have some complaints or something like that, go into the Helium Discord. They do have information in there as to what's going on, what the status is and such. It's changing every single day. So, Crypto Dave, how does Microcenter have Founders Editions cards? I just bought one last week, but didn't think they could get FE cards. Really? I had no idea. Now you have me flummoxed. Let's see if Microcenter. There we go. I'm curious if it's on their website. Really? It is not wanting to load that. All right, let's try it with a different thing, different window. Let's see. What is everybody trying to load up Microcenter now? Can't even get into the website. Alrighty, well, enough of that. I can check that out later. All right, 3 Foxco. Have a safe drive to work, and we will see you later. Mining King Presearch node. Yes. Presearch is, if you go to presearch.io, that is a search engine, but it's a decentralized search engine, and it is an unbiased search engine. So when you go to Google, Google's going to put its own spin on things. When you go to Yahoo, it's going to put its own spin on things. So this does not put its own spin on anything. It just gives you the raw output of the search. So and there's no tracking of your search either. So you have the privacy of that search as well. All right. Let's see what else. I miss anything else? Max bringing down Microcenter website. Anybody else able to get into Microcenter? I was not able to. Yeah, non-biased for now. Yeah, the way that would really be really stupid of them to actually start being biased, because it would totally defeat the purpose and the reason why people would want to use it if they did start putting their own spin on things. So it's definitely a healthy amount of skepticism, no question. But I'm hoping that, they just basically stay neutral and they just unfiltered search results. Alpha Mine. Wait, what was that search engine again? Oh, here, I'll just put it in here. Presearch.io. That is what it is. And won't take as long. Left my ass. I've done 3 since I joined here. Nice. Yeah, I don't know if he's gotten the flux or not, but hey, if it's gotten it to work. Oh, Bing is an unbiased engine and everyone hates it, just like how everyone hates Music Shuffle that is actually randomized. Interesting. Good point. Yeah, it just feels like when you go into Bing, it doesn't give you like the search results that you're really looking for. Like, it just seems like it's like, wait a minute, that's not really what I was looking for. Why is this not giving me what I think? So anyway, alrighty guys, well, I'm going to wrap it up. I have been talking for about an hour. Appreciate you guys all coming, and I will be back here at 8 p.m. Central Time next Monday, as always. Again, this was the 30th, hence one of the reasons why I did a giveaway today, as well as I reached, I'm over 3,000 subscribers. So I thought 30, 3,000, you know, I don't know. Thought it was appropriate. So, alrighty, guys. Well, you guys all have a good night. And again, thanks for coming. I really appreciate it. Good night.